Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin Television, episode 337. Another evening to sit back at the fireplace because it's cold. I think right now our temperature is a balmy 14 degrees. Time to sit at the fireplace and listen to another King Dolphin TV Fantastic Four story time. I am Raymond Feliciano. I am the author of the Dolphin Wars trilogy and ruler of the greatest pod on YouTube. Welcome one, welcome all. And of course, it's not working. Typical. So I would like to. Yeah, thank you, Snort. Thank you. Give it a good roar. Maybe it'll scare it into going. So it has been a week. It's been cold. It's been snowy. Lots of exciting news out there. And for some reason, my avatar is not working on StreamYards, but that's okay. I will persevere. If you like what we do here, if you like these reviews, if you like the interviews, if you like the maniacal chaos, thanks, FKHC. Thank you. I like it. Please like and subscribe. And at this time, more importantly, please watch the videos. Get me those viewing hours up so I can beat the YouTube algorithm. So and yes, I like it. And I like that message. I feel bad because I used to watch Big Chuck Sadowski when I was a kid and a teenager. And he had great, somewhat good horror movies, great commercial skits, and just an all around good time. I always used to remember when my when my dad on a Friday night would come home with pizza, one for me and another one for everybody else. Back in the day where I can devour an entire pizza. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Big Chuck Sadowski. All right. Let's see. And FKHC says, don't want Dr. Doom to send Snorty and Frank pay here. Yep. If you are so inclined, I have put the tip stream up there. Help out the channel. We've got a lot of things that are coming up, and StreamYards is not being any help with their raising the cost. What's this about lawn darts?
Look after Tony with his toy gun.
Oh, okay. So yeah, because we've got PodCon 2. So far, it's still just a thought in my brain, but I'm trying to work some things out. But if we can get some ducats in the bucket and build up the coffers we can make PodCon really, really good. Hey, Fez. So, let us, now that the monologue is done, let us go on to welcome people. We've got right now my amazing lifeguards. We've got the producer, Sandra. This is King Dolphin TV in color. In stereo, we're available. Sandra Feliciano production. Love you, honey. We've got Fez Forever, John Rendo. How you doing? We've got FKHC 2005. We've got Legatus Legion Eye. And also, we have someone who cannot be ignored, the head of the collection agency, the biggest, the baddest bear on YouTube. Al Trike, in his usual position, champion napper of the pod. Snorter poop ass, Q bar, dot screen. Hashtag roar, roar. Oh. FKHC says no in beautiful 3-strip Technicolor. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That's good. Fez Forever says, hail King Dolphin, Sandra, Snort, Legatus, FKHC. Hail and hello to all you happy peoples and bears. Hail Trike. Yes. Hail Trike. All right, let's get the show going. Or as a certain blue-eyed animal, blue-eyed idol of millions says, it's clobbering time. All right. Yes, let's get to the clobbering times. Hello, Real Waiter Nation. Gaming Clips, how you doing? Okay, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Max says, okay, fine. Give the bear weapons. The right to arm bears is approved. Yes. Got my warning from my producer. Hello, Max Redstone. All right. So, as I've been doing from this just about the start, we've been doing Fantastic Four stories with some other diversions. They come from the CD-ROM, 44 years of the Fantastic Four. And so they go from the very beginning to 44 years later. And they are all great stories. So tonight we have we're going to have issue 14 of the Fantastic Four. The last issue we did was the Red Ghost and his apes. I think so. Legatus can confirm that. And tonight we're going to have another exciting episode. So let us begin. Alrighty. Get StreamYard opening. The window. All right. Great cover. We've got how much action, how much drama do you crave? be on hand when the Submariner strikes. So it is back to Namor coming to harass the Fantastic Four. So we shall begin. Undersea Monarch versus America's Greatest Superheroes, plus the surprise return of another former villain. And notice Sue's always tied up. All right, so once again, the Fantastic Four faces the threat of the Submariner and the Puppet Master. Well, that's a spoiler alert. Okay, so they defeat the Red Ghost on the moon in the last issue, and they're coming back. And of course, Ben wants to land the jet, and Johnny's gonna sleep. Reed is saying that that Ben can do it, even though he's designed the bird to fly itself. Then, so the rocket is coming back. They've got clearance to land. Oh, and let's start with our ad. You can be a He-Man too. He-Man. So the jet lands. Everybody is all excited that the Fantastic Four has done it. They're saying that hard to believe that the ship is the brainchild of one man, but if it's Reed Richards, it could do it. And then it lands. And Ben is wanting to hurt. Ben is wanting to hurt somebody. They've got a mob meeting them. So they get out. They get out and they meet the crowd. And wow, looks like Beatlemania. You got Mr. Fantastic Fan Club, the National Guard can't hold him back. They want a lock of his hair. And he's saying, don't lose your dignity. And then they start to stretch his leg. Two fighting fan clubs fighting over Mr. Fantastic. And then this one guy wants to do has a wrestler, the Golden Angel, wants to wrestle the Thing in a fight to the finish. And Ben takes the Angel, puts him in a garbage can, and says, well, I ain't gonna wrestle you, and you know why? Because you're so big and tough. I'm shaking in my itty-bitty boots. That's why. He's not even wearing boots. And they're trying to get Sue to get contracts to be on television or Hollywood or what sort, to endorse a deodorant on TV. So she disappears. And so Johnny starts making a tunnel or a tornado. And he moves this big tornado, makes it into a vacuum, and they are being sucked back to the Baxter Building. And they start going down to their headquarters. and Ben doesn't know whether to thank or hit him. And they're exhausted and they collapse. Except Sue, she decides she's going to do some house cleaning. So Reed gives a report to NASA. And then asks Sue to type up the report and send it to Washington. He sees Sue looking at a television of the bottom of the sea. And she gets startled and turns off the thing. And Reed says she's still thinking about the Submariner. There's no need to answer. And Reed says, sometimes I wish you could find him again so we can settle things between us once and for all. So he goes and sulks. He says it seemed like nothing could ever defeat him. Nothing could outsmart him. No problem remains unsolved when he puts his mind to it. He can turn into a flat thing and go under doors. And he's thinking he is becoming overconfident. And he's worried that he can't get Sue to... Or two, he says, for now, although the world knows me as the invincible Mr. Fantastic, I'm unable to win my most cherished goal. I am unable to completely conquer the heart of the girl I love. 60s dialogue. Conquer the girl that he loves. Win would probably have worked better there. But it's 60s writing. Okay. So Sue is sad. Also, she's looking for the Submariner. And the little probe heads back to New York. Next, there is we're seeing a sanatorium, and the doctor is saying, you're cured, and the guy leaves. He sits and he says that the fools thought the fall killed me months ago, but how wrong they are. So we know who this is. It's time to come out of hiding and to plan a revenge on the Fantastic Four. So he's going to get a scapegoat to do the job for him. So he's trying to figure out who it can be. Either the Mole Man, one of the Skrulls, Dr. Doom, but he's been vanished from Earth. But then he figures out it's the Submariner is the next one. So now we've got a break. You could do lightning jujitsu, how to perform strongman stunts, fun for girls, key for judo, fun for boys. You could do hypnotism, experiment with electricity. That would be a shocking experience. You can learn to dance. You can do drafting. So you could get these books for $1. Has anybody ever gotten books back when they were kids? Actually, they probably were gone. They probably stopped this a long, long time ago. Snort says, non-snoot, arm us. And Bez says, that's how Stretch Armstrong was born. All right. Banner removed. We've got the evil puppet master with a picture with a little figurine of Namor. And now we continue. So he is looking under the sea, looking for traces of his people. He found a little vault that showed artificial shelters. Look at those cool fish. So he starts going to look for them. And then he starts getting controlled by the puppet master. So he goes straight forward to a being called a mental fish, which can sense human thoughts and transmit them to any point on Earth. So he starts thinking, so this is the submariner. Meet me, meet me. And she hears the voice saying, meet me, meet me. And she is saying, I gotta go to him. He needs me. And so she's going to see if she cares for the submariner. So she heads to a pier and sees him. She's gonna stay invisible, but then decides it's not a trap. And Namor says nothing, and then this big one-eyed fish is right behind him and hypnotizes Sue. The creature makes a air bubble and goes into the water. And he will then wait orders from the puppet master. So, having blindly followed her heart, the Invisible Girl has unwittingly set the stage for one of the Fantastic Four's most dangerous adventures, as a grinning figure gloats over the success of its vengeful plan. He then starts using the radioactive clay to build more puppets. So he then makes the Fantastic Four, but he doesn't want to manipulate them, and guides the Submariner to attack him. So Reed is testing Ben's strength. He's holding a 10-ton weight, and to test the limits of his strength. And then he sees the Submariner, who happens to be a hologram. And Reed discerns that it is a mental projection, saying it's one of his powers. And then he says that the Invisible Girl is her prisoner. Johnny checks and sees that that's true. He's going to challenge them to invade his realm, to attempt to rescue Sue, and that he's going to destroy the Fantastic Four. So Reed is pissed, and they're gonna move to rescue Sue. And somehow the Puppet Master got a one-man submarine and is going underwater. He says, though no one of the actors realized the Puppet Master is directing behind the scenes, I shall witness the final destruction of my arch enemies at the hands of my most powerful pawn, Submariner. Dun, dun, dun. So Reed is getting ready. So Reed is getting ready and doing taking precautions, making sure that the commissioner has the FF's files. Ben is over there saying, what chance does he have? And so they take off, and takes his piece of the fantastic card to say hello to Alicia. He lands and gets charged for parking rates. He goes into her apartment and tells Alicia about the upcoming battle. And she's worried. And she starts crying. And she tells him she means a lot to him. And he's going to take her with them. Brilliant idea, but Alicia's tougher than you think. Of course, not in these days. All right, break time. You can either work in HVAC, or you can have your own business in air conditioning and refrigeration. You get your own kit. All the tools are included. You get a kit. How much did they charge? You can get free booklets. And then you can decide from CTI. I wish I had someone who could do the fix the air conditioning. I mean, we do have air conditioning. Indians want to buy Greenland. It's going cheap. Namor is looking a bit fishy. Yeah. The Puppet Master, a.k.a. Robert A. Heinlein. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Now that we know about fixing air conditioners. So now Ben, Ben stacks up the cars, and so he can get his jet out of there. And because he charged double from the he charged double for the Fantastic Cars parking, and then he put it down, and Alicia says, "Control your temper." And Ben says, "Nope, I'm an ornery. He's got a rep to live up to." So Reed says, "Welcome aboard, Alicia." And Ben was surprised that they were going to argue. So they go into the water. And they start looking. And Reed is figuring that the submariner is watching them. And they start going down, and all of a sudden a undersea porcupine shark starts shooting barbs at them. And then there is an underwater tornado. And it starts swirling the submarine down, and then what Johnny does is turns himself white hot, turning the water into steam so that the currents dispel. But then now he has no flame, and he's starting to deal with the water pressure. And then Reed rescue him. And the submariner is watching them come. And next thing you know, a clam traps him. And then they wake up in his lair because the clam put off chloroform, which put them asleep. And Reed is saying that time will tell whether you've captured us or whether we've finally succeeded in tracking you down. And he starts going to show Sue in a bubble in his trophy tank, guarded by an octopus. That's a sad-looking octopus. He's got sad eyes. He's got the eyes of Troik. And Johnny's scared, but then Reed is figuring something's off with the submariner. There's something strange about the submariner. In his own inhuman way, he loves Sue and would never put her in jeopardy like that. Ben is all set to go get him. And wow, this is an electronic version. These are electronic ads all day in this issue. You can learn radio, television, electronics. You can work on radios. You can work on TVs. NRI, National Radio Institute, had they hype Cape Canaveral, and many graduates help work on the equipment for the new space age. So without extra charge, NRA provides special kits to bring to life things you study. Makes learning interesting, easy, and fast. And you get to keep the equipment. Cool. So, before we get to the next one, let's see. After fixing an air conditioner, it's time to cool off. Yeah. They start going down. I think I saw that version of the FF. Sandra says it's already fracking cold here. I'm ready for warm weather. I feel a lot of these ads were made to see if people would be good for the CIA and the like. Yeah. What? No cell phones? Electronics ad? Car? Oh, car in the background? Yep. All right. Back to the story. So, Johnny, Namor is going to take him on individually. So, Johnny goes first. So he found an undersea creature, lives in a cold cave and devours heat. So he uses the flame, a unthinking flame eater that absorbs the heat from the body. And Johnny falls on the ground. And even though he is kind of even though the creature is overfilled with the heat and Johnny is half strong and he's getting ready the Submariner's ready to finish the job, Ben grabs him and he says, this was supposed to be a hand-to-hand fight. If you can bring these creatures, then the Torch can use a little help too. And he's going to get it. All right. So he escapes the thing, and then a coral. He gets hit by a coral. And then he tosses deep sea fungus. And then the fungus starts surrounding him and trapping him in a prison. And Thing is struggling and he breaks free. So now Reed takes a turn. Ben goes after Sue, and Reed starts stretching all over the place. But Submariner is not afraid of Reed and still says he's the master. And he traps him in a cell of his arms, but Namor doesn't think he can keep the pressure going. So Ben goes to the octopus and goes into the water and starts fighting with the octopus. And the octopus starts attacking Ben. And he swings him around, and Thing rescues Sue. And he says, brave kid, not a whimper out of her. First time I ever saw a female who could keep her mouth shut so long. Bam! Sue comes out, and then under the monitoring of the puppet master, he is not sure the Fantastic Four can. He's not sure that the Submariner can defeat the Fantastic Four. Wait. So he's going to get his hands dirty. So now he's trying to get the Submariner to destroy the Fantastic Four, telling him to slay them. So now he's bringing out other weapons. But Alicia senses a mental power and detects that that something is controlling Namor, and deduces that it could be the puppet master. So Reed is not sure, and then he's saying this weapon. He's got a plant that has poison gas that no creature can withstand. And then Puppet Master is saying, "Do it." He is fighting, and he's saying. And he's arguing with himself, saying, "Why must they perish? Why can't I stay my hand?" And now it's break time. Wow, you can, for an 1801 coin, a Liberty coin, you can get $9,985.50 for this coin. And this place, for certain coins, they pay up to, like certain gold coins before 1929, you can get $10,000. Pennies before 1919, $9,000, etc., etc. So they have a catalog that can show the coins that they want to buy. And the next ad is for $2.98. You can get a wind hooker, a gigantic 7-foot kite, and can do some high flying. I have never seen one of these. Assemble in 20 minutes. You get everything. Plastic vinyl, rigid belly, expandable steel struts, 200 feet of cable cord, and cord feeder. All for $2.98 or two for $5. Money back if not delighted. All right. A wind hooker. Sounds dirty. Yeah, it does. Space age. Now meaning the age of life when you realize you have too much stuff and hold a yard sale to pay for it, though. Space age. Now meaning the age of life when you realize you have too much stuff and hold a yard sale to pay for a dumpster. usually around age 60 to 65. So true. So true. The noise. What noise? Fez Forever says Ben becomes the Michelin Man. And a windhooker sounds dirty. Yeah, it does. All right. So, Namor. Ooh, watch for the greatest symbols in comics. You got the Fantastic Four. You got Thor appearing in Journey to Mystery. You got the Amazing Spider-Man. You got the Ant-Man appearing in Tales to Astonish. Iron Man appearing in Tales of Suspense. And the Human Torch appearing in not only Strange Tales, but the Fantastic Four. Only 12 cents an issue. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff you could shop by mail, collect stamps, do magic tricks. They want poems, imitation diamond ring, all sorts of cool stuff. Okay. So Ben stands in front of the team. Ben stands in front of the team, and the fumes activate, and they surround the team, and he had Flexogen packets, probably rubber masks, and they're getting ready to do the final battle with Namor. But then Sue steps in front of them. He says that Alicia was right. Namor is under a spell, but he does not care. But then the octopus gets a vote. Remember that all the enemies get a vote. The octopus shatters the plexiglass steel and starts looking for a new victim. So he sees the octopus, it's coming toward him. He can't change course. He tries to control it. He starts making a octopus, but the octopus grabs him because the creature is almost mindless. So how can you control a creature like that? So Submariner collapses. The water starts gushing through. Torch fixes the hole and says, "Oh, knock it off. You know, if I had my own fan club, you'd be the first to volunteer to be president." Aww. So he then, after he revives, he's saying, why did they invade him? And Ben wonders that he's either an actor or was under a spell, and is asking Sue to share his domain. And Sue says Her loyalties are still with Reed, and for her heart, perhaps one day it'll be able to make a final choice, but then not yet. So he does not beg, and he's still looking for his people. And he's saying, sooner or later, I will locate them. I shall find the lost race of submariners, and then we'll see to whom this planet rightly belongs. Do you hear me? We shall see. So he's telling them to go and to hold her if he can. Ben gets the submarine. And Reed is very quiet during this last bit of stuff. And then they head back to the surface, and Namor can't remember what brought them there, but there was a terrible weight lifted from him. So they head up to the surface. And this is the end of the story. Fantastic Four fan page. One of the ones is, Dear Stan and Jack, we have formed a Fantastic Four fan club and would like you to send us ideas for some activities we can do. At present, in our meetings, we first read reports on the last adventure and make up a new adventure and play it. After that, the president, Mr. Fantastic, assigns parts of the adventure to each person. If you can, please send us materials to get us going. Fantastically yours, Stu. All right. As an English major at the University of Texas, I'd like to congratulate you on the high standards of literary excellence you've set in the world's greatest comic magazine. I love it. Sometimes the symbolism is too much for me, but that does not keep me from enjoying each exciting issue. Your mag is as good as the great comics as the early 50s, so keep up and good work. More letters. Okay. You can get a pet monkey. For $19.95. You can get live seahorses for $7. Learn any dance fast for only $1. All you need is a gal to dance with. And of course, Grit, where you can make $1 to $5 weekly. The Dynaflex method. You can build a magnificent new He-Man muscle body in 10 minutes a day. Absolutely. No weights, no barbells, no exercise at all. Yeah, right. Fill the gaps in your family's education with the amazing Made Simple Self-Teaching Encyclopedia. Or you can go to Google. And of course, you can learn to draw. You too can be the Comic Relief Crusader. All right. So that is Fantastic Four, number 14. I think we can get one more in. What do you think? Should we go try one more? Let's see. Yeah, Tim. My microphone is so sensitive, it can get stuff outside the house. Hello, Swift -1. How you doing? All right. Release the Kraken. Oh, Kraken. Release the. More hellos from Swift. Fez Forever says, I want a polar monkey. I have a full 1960s Encyclopedia Britannica with case. Nice. I had an Encyclopedia Britannica in my old house, but we never brought it out. And when we went back to get stuff, it had a lock, a real estate lock, and we couldn't get into it, so we left it there. Legata says, more if you have to ask. All right. Let's go to Fantastic 415. All right. Well, this is going to be a good one. The first look at the Mad Thinker and his awesome android. And it looks like he's got the FF trapped with their own weapons. All right. The Fantastic Four. Well, there's the He-Man again. He sends, you can get a free book. All you do is send 10 cents for mailing and handling. Wow, that's a lot of, that isn't a lot of money to get a package. Look how much it is now. All right. The Fantastic Four battle, the Mad Thinker and his awesome android. The android, neither animal, vegetable, or mineral. What is it? Oh, I am a gangster. All right. Here we go. So, you're experiencing one of the most exciting moments in magazine reading, the start of an all-new Fantastic Four adventure. Outside of the Baxter building, a flare goes up, and there is the Four. And first one is Johnny trying to explain why he's broken up dates, and then he sees the number 4, and just as she's starting to get interested, and there goes Johnny. And then in a Fifth Avenue beauty parlor, Fifth Avenue beauty parlor, she's getting her hair done. So she goes invisible and starts walking or running. And then, of course, the Thing is at Yancey Street, and there's a picture of the Thing is a sissy, and he's wearing a ballerina's tutu with a flower in his mouth. And they're over there going, look, there's the Thing. So the ugly lump got our love letter. Yoo-hoo, pretty boy, here we are. We're waiting for you. And just then, he's getting ready to toss a bulldozer, but he got the signal, so he's starting to run away, and they're tossing vegetables and all that stuff, and he's getting pissed. And they go to the ready room of the Fantastic Four. Okay, so they're complaining that they had that they didn't see that there was much of an emergency, and he didn't want to get interrupted either, and he created a little creature out of one-celled life. But he received a call from the chief of police, and it reports that top mobsters and gang leaders from all over the country are heading to New York and wanted to alert the FF. And then an interesting, well-coughed character is saying at 12:42, the gangsters will be coming. And they're calling him the Thinker. And he wants a kingdom of crime with him as the king. And he says he has a fabulous brain and computing machines. He can outplan the law at every turn. So no one has known about him, but he doesn't want to stay hidden anymore. So he wants to take New York City. So he wants to even get ambassadors to other American cities and do trade in foreign pacts with criminals. And he's over there saying, well, what about the Fantastic Four? The Thinker forgets nothing. So then they talk about each of the individual powers. Mr. Fantastic doing his stretching, Johnny burning around it, and then Sue taking him by surprise and tying her up. And then, of course, you can't forget the Thing. And he's already planned how to get the Fantastic Four out of the way. And all right. And now we got 2 new comics coming up. Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos. World War II action at its best. And then next issue, the return of Dr. Doom. And then all these books that you can get for party games, handwriting analysis, astronomy, all for $1 each. How'd you like to be able to hypnotize somebody? I think it's a game. All right, back to the story. So, he has a ton of computers. And for one purpose, to make him the king of crime. And now he has a plan to get rid of the Fantastic Four and to take over their headquarters. fact obvious, fact remote, fact incidental, observations, probabilities, possibilities. And he predicts that everything that will happen, even to the last second. He said, "Don't you remember that bank haul I pulled last year that succeeded because I knew a hot dog vendor would pass by at the split second. I wonder if he paid the guy with the hot dog place." And he knew a water main burst just as he drove by. And he had a monkey start a fire in the shack, burning some papers which had the evidence to put him in jail for years. So he threw out one of them and foretold that the feds would catch this guy, Blackie Scar. So I think he's a manipulator, not just a thinker. So they're ready to sign on with him. Okay, so he wants to take him out individually. So excuse me. So two men arrive in New York, and they're obviously cut. They are actually related to him. So, and Johnny says, "What's going on?" And there's a business problem at the circus, and he needs a star attraction. And Johnny decides, "Yeah, I could be a circus star." And then somebody at an electronic company, they want to they are trying to find a research specialist. Not sure who they will get. And then the janitor leaves a comic of the Fantastic Four. And they say, "Reed Richards!" And they want to get it. And then a wrestling manager wants the thing to wrestle. And Sting's over there going, "I don't want to." But then he's saying, "Oh, are you afraid to meet Fatal Finnegan, the idol of the Yancey Street gang?" And Ben lets his temper get the best of him. And then Sue is entertaining children, and this millionaire meets up with Sue and is going to talk to her to star in a new show. Now they're over there pondering about the various offers. So Johnny thinks that someone's been planning for the show to fail because of accidents. And he's getting starstruck. And he's getting again into a fight with Ben. All right. And then the next sensational issue, you can see Ant-Man join forces with the Fantastic Four as they battle Doctor Doom. And see, there's Fantastic Four fan clubs all over the place. One in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. One in New Jersey. And there's the air conditioning. The air conditioning ad. 25 kits, 20 shop projects. All right. So Reed is saying, knock it off. And Reed is suggesting a separation. And Reed says they need a vacation. He's going to be at General Electronics. And Johnny's going to go to circus. And Ben's going to be in the... Ben's going to be a wrestler, and Sue is going to be a starring role. So the Thinker's plan fell into place. So they're going to depart and go their separate ways. And Ben's saying, everybody needs a vacation sometime. And now they're wondering what to do to take over the city. It's actually 3 minutes after 4, and they left their headquarters. So he sees a meteor and is going to deal with these. The meteor comes to Earth and goes into the water. And the shock makes the people panic. And the earth tremor knocked out all the power. And you got fire. And they're over there going, what meteor? One meteor did that? And the power is out, and the firefighters are going to have problems. And then the Thinker and his crew entered the Baxter building because with the electricity out, they were able to get in. And he sees all the systems, all the secrets. And he sees the work with DNA. And he can now create a new form of life that will serve the Thinker. The torch is being successful in Florida. Doing every known circus stunt at the same time. But now he's missing the others. He's saying, I never realized how empty the sound of applause can be. Same old act day after day, can't take much more of it. I wonder how the others are doing. But before we get there, there's the television electronics. You can build high-tech systems for that day. Let's see. Hey, Phantom Outsider. Okay. How you doing, P.O.? All right. Gotta says, holy moly, look at those speech cloud bubbles. You almost could not fit the characters underneath them. Hypnotism would be great. I hypnotized my banker into giving money with no paperwork. He can think all that, but never thought, hey, I could just go to the OTB, off-track betting, and win every horse race till I have the fortune I desire. But no, this is somehow easier. Okay. Phantom says, after a flurry of calls and emails, I got the info I needed to file with Social Security. So want to finish that up by tomorrow and got written confirmation I no longer need to call work every day. Good for you. Yep, sounds like things are at least getting better or at least easier. Yeah, that's true. There's a gap between when work ends and retirement and Social Security checks come in. That's why you should have enough to live on until you start getting those checks. Sandra says, I know it's not the best outcome, but at least you can get closure now. And Snorty says, does this mean I don't have to eat your HR department? Snort says, well, they aren't my HR department anymore. I'm retired, so if you had to, I really don't know any of them. They should have timed it so the transition was seamless. They could have if they put in a little effort. They never do. It takes such a process to process the retirements. All right. Back to the story. So Johnny is missing the others. Let's see what the others are doing. And she's playing a space gal on another planet. And she's thinking that acting would be fun, but this is probably the umpteenth gazillion take. And then Reed is going into the device and to take a look at the equipment, and he's over there. Do you have to? And the boss is, do you have to emphasize your point so dramatically? This is a laboratory, not a carnival. And Reed is saying, I got to do things my own way without interference. And then Ben is saying, how long do I got to waltz this baboon? Uh-oh. And the wrestler is eyeing Alicia, and Ben gets mad and starts twirling him around. He does a boomerang throw, and he's tied up, and Ben and Alicia go. And the team gathers back at the base, and then Reed is saying it's good to be back, and then they see that the building turned into a crystal. It's a brand new substance, Not even Ben can hit through it. They are locked through the headquarters. Reed tries to look for a crack. Ben is trying to dig through. And no one is noticing. And then you've got the Thinker appearing. He's saying he is expecting the Fantastic Four. So the Four are aware of it, and he's challenging the Fantastic Four. And Sue says, another power, good grief, another power mad genius for us to contend with. And then he's saying he has the access to Mr. Fantastic's research, which will turn on them. And Mr. Fantastic says he means it. He wants us to get in and fight us. He actually thinks it can beat us. And Johnny shoots a bolt of flame, and it detonates an explosive device. And then they're going in, and there's the gangsters shooting rays at them. And then Ben decides to crunch the walls so that they can protect themselves from the blasters. And now he continues to test. And so they're climbing up the elevator shaft. And then they get gassed. And it's a distorter. It's a distorting gas, which just affects their vision and their sense of balance. And Sue is telling Ben a thing to twist his body around. And they get to they dispel the gas and get to the next floor. And then here comes a creature. An artificial life form. A living android coming after the team. There's the coin, there's the windhooker. Wonder if you could fly that thing, use it as a hang glider. And there is the Fantastic Four in a pinup page. And there are coins and whatnot. Let's see. Might be a 2 to 3 month gap, but might be tight. But after that, I'll make $700 more a month. At least PO won't be taking a financial hit. Fez says, bear with it a couple months and you should be in good shape. Yep. Fez says, I wonder if you can use that kite as a batlin. Yeah, it does kind of look like a batlin. Hey, Eric 130. How you doing, pal? Hello, Anti-Derivative Jill. How are you doing? How you doing, dear? I hope you're doing well. Okay. Okay. Yep, the Awesome Android was start of the Super Android phase of comics with the Super Adaptoid and DC's Amazo to follow. Yes, indeed. All right. Okay, back to the get rid of the banner so I don't get yelled at. Yeah. All right. Okay. And Johnny again does the first attack, and it shoots wind at him and blows out Johnny's flame. And then Ben hits him. And then the android, turns into the thing. Fortunately, the android moves slow. So now Reed starts working and tells Sue to turn invisible. Reed remembers his notes, and he tries tying him up, and he tells Sue where to press a motor nerve terminal to deactivate, to knock him out. So lucky for us, Sue was here. My fingers are too blunt. You couldn't free yours long enough, and the android would have seen the torch and kicked him away. And the thinker calculated that they would be there at this precise second. And Ben is thinking this is a game. So Johnny is taunting the thinker. And telling them that he was the one to arrange their departing New York. And he's going to shoot antimatter shells at the Fantastic Four. And then all of a sudden, the shells backfire. Rita and Ben grab the thinker. Johnny destroys the cylinders. And he is over there saying, "How did you beat me?" And he explained that he had Mr. Lumpkin, their mailman, ring the doorbell at exactly 4:00, which renders all his equipment, useless when the bell is rung, to be a precaution against the enemy taking over the lab. And so the thinker is captured, and he's thinking, "I will plan," as he's being taken to jail. And Reed is saying it's exactly 4 minutes after 4, and the thinker is over. And they're all together again. And Ben says, for this, I gave up a career in showbiz. So that is the end of the story. More letters. Oh, let's see. Fantastic Four 11 was the greatest. The first story was very good because it told about their past, but the second story was the better of the two. It was the funniest I've ever read. I nearly died laughing at the panic this creature from Pop-Up caused. Wow. Some of the crazy things that were said were wild. For instance, when the Thing said, "Yeah, don't get it to be a comic book hero by being careful. Please, fellas, stick to science fiction stories in the future. I wouldn't want to see human magazines run out of business." By the way, the pinup of Submariner was superb. There's the monkey again. There's the seahorses. And there's Squid. He-Man and the encyclopedia. And that is the end of Fantastic Four number 15. I hope everybody liked it. All right, let's see. Do the waves. Let's make some waves. Let's see. All right, where is it? Okay, Herc is saying, how you liking the cold weather? Herc is saying, hoping you're having a great day. That says 7 degrees here, wet, snowy, and depressing. Same as usual. Jill says, just fine, just disappointed we didn't get snow. We haven't had any in years. My daughter wanted to see it. Yeah, we got a bunch of snow here. We've had more than we want. The temps have been below zero, with highs barely into double digits. Bring her up here. She'll never want to see it again. And don't forget, Pop Culture Breakdown is live in a half hour. And make sure if you go that you say Pod Raid. Fez says, my cousin in Charlotte had a staggering 1/16 of occasional snow. Now, when the android did that to the torch, you wouldn't like to be behind him. Got to have an intake somewhere. Yeah. And don't forget to make some waves. All right. Who was the first FKHC? And make sure you do a pod raid at Pop Culture Breakdown. All right. Jill says, that's a good idea. A vacation might be the only way she sees it. Yeah. Skiing at Whitetail. If you can make a weekend trip out of it, she'll get to see the snow without freezing into a mini popsicle. And Snorter Poopus like the stories. Yay, Snort. Phantom says, well, except for the gangsters, the thinker, and that wrestler, sure. Had to walk the dog in this cold, yeah. But we have a fenced-in yard. The guy says, I like how much, no matter how much thinking and planning the villains do, it is always still not enough. Not against the four. If you leave some cookies and a shot of whiskey, the Christmas bear will bring you some snow. Yay. FKHC says, I was the first in the chat and said pod raid incoming. Bring you some show and then take it off in the living room, no doubt. Oh, yeah. All right. So, 2 magazines, 2 issues done today. So, it's time for show notes.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
Show notes. Okay, I don't have a whole heck of a lot to announce because I'm still working on getting some interviews. I'm still trying to get some interviews set up, so probably next week will be a Surfside chat. We'll see who we can bring on. February 1st will be the January 25th will be Just Cuz on its usual Saturday time. February 1st will be Just Cuz. And on the 8th is our second themed episode. We're going to do Looney Tunes. Hello, Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. How you doing? Tim. Brings you some show, shake it off in your living room, no doubt. That pod raid is coming because all the villains all do silly things, and if he was so smart, he'd go off track betting, win every race in trifecta. Storta Poopa says, take care of a human, dolphin, doggo, Dalek, ferret, eagle, hedgehog, and mangrove riverless. Yeah, the old subsidiary Dolphin TV. All right, I gotta see what this riverless is. Go to Wikipedia. It's a fish. Oh, that's a cute little thing. That's a cute, looks like a smelt. Huh. That is a interesting little fish. Tim. Show notes, my favorite part of the show. It means you're almost done. We can see Raymond's hair receding in the photos. Yeah, I still got a lot. And Courtney, how you doing? Okay. And hello to Lega, Danto, and Sandra, and of course King D. And FKH. Tim says, delete the wabbit, since YouTube won't let me put the quote in. All right, well, that's show notes. I'm still working. I've sent some invites to try and get some interviews in. And I know I've got to start planning a Radio King Dolphin TV. I'd like to do a Radio King Dolphin TV month, but I don't know if that would work or if I should do one episode of Radio King Dolphin TV a month. Tell me what you think, because remember, I also have to get a cast together. Tell me what you think about how often I should do Radio King Dolphin TV. All right. Let's.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
Thank you, Courtney. Love to you. All right. So let's let me thank everybody who has come to visit. Starting off with the aforementioned Courtney's Fellowship of Oddball. Thank you for being here. We had Herc 130. We had the great Phantom Outsider and Rio Wade Nation Gaming Clips and Swift -1. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed the stories. And now hi Trike, and my amazing lifeguard. And we're going to do a little something a little different here since Trike just woofed. We're going to start with Trike, don't show your butt. Snort up, Poopas! Super. Dot screen. Hashtag roar. I know you guys really didn't want to see the business end of Trike. You want to smell the business end of Trike either.
It's deadly.
It's deadly. Very deadly. Well, I hope you like the show. Snort Up Poopas, great show. Great show. I think these Fantastic Four shows are cool. I think Snort should be the thing. Yeah. All right. Great show. See you guys Saturday. All right. Yep. Now he's barking out there. Yep. Trike was showing his business end. Yes, he was. Snort says, ah. And Max says, see more butts, eh? All right. Hail to the Trike. You could probably hear him too. All right. So, thank you for being here, Snorter Poopas. We had Max Redstone. Thank you, sir. We had Lagatus Legionai. Thank you very, very much, sir. We had the great FKHC 2005. The charming and lovely and erudite and intelligent Antiderivative Jill. Thank you for being here, ma'am. And Fez forever, John Rendell. And finally, the producer. This is King Dolphin TV in color, Technicolor, in stereo. We're available. Love you, honey. This is a Sandra Feliciano production. I had a great time with you guys. I'm glad you did. And we will see you on Saturday. Stay warm. Pop Culture Breakdown is coming up. Stay warm, stay safe, and be good. And see you on Saturday.